Okay, this is going to be my trade journal for 3/20/2026, Friday. Two trades I end up taking. I'll be going over the price action and hopefully reviewing all these at the end of the week. It's already the end of the week, but I will be pretty consistent hopefully with these. But going into the day, I was pretty clearly bearish. I wasn't really looking at the daily. I was more looking at the weekly and this range, because we're at value area low on the weekly. The weekly composite, like, pretty clear bearish, and then we also had this low volume node here. And when I came into the day, if I go forward here, price was moving up here into this low volume node, and it rejected really hard. So not only was I pretty confident, I'm gonna go a little faster. Not only was I pretty confident, yeah, right here. So this is right before market open. So I was really confident. Honestly, this is even a trade here on the 5-minute. I was looking at this back and I was like, this literally could have been a trade. But not only that, but the downtrend is really clear. There's a lot of volume on these down moves, and then this is clearly a retrace. This is not a reversal. So I figured, this low volume node coinciding with value area low of the weekly volume profile, if price got above this low volume node, I was not going to be bearish, but as long as we stayed below this, it's pretty clear bearish. And even on the 5-minute, this could have been a trade. But obviously I'm not going to take anything before the pre-market. But anyway, so all the basically retrace just gets ripped through here at the very start. And first trade I ended up taking was on this impulse range. So I was plotting the range here. It was a pretty slow, low volume value area high, and then there was this huge area of low volume, and price really could retrace anywhere in here. I was just kind of waiting to see where we would really see absorption. And right here, I remember after this candle right here, at 7:42, I was looking at entering a trade here, but I didn't because there was we had a buyer absorbed here, but there was no sellers coming in. So I was just sitting waiting, and then we get another push up, and I think we get one more push up. Right here. Oh, yep, right there. So this is a pretty far retrace. We do have candles closing above value area high, but of this move. But once I saw this candle at 7:44, I knew we had absorption. I knew we were in the low volume node, and these three sellers entered the market almost instantly. I got my entry right here. It was actually more probably down here, and these obviously I wanted to enter on the first seller, but these three literally entered instantly. It was so fast, and the second I saw them enter and saw how fast they entered, I immediately shorted and immediately got to move down. At this point, my stop was at break even after this candle formed, and then it just, this was a pretty classic trade, pretty easy. The one thing that I did call this a C setup. I think this is more like a B setup, honestly. I called it a C setup because of how high we are above value on this. Technically, this could have been a reversal, but it was so clear once these sellers entered that this was going to go basically. So that was the first trade. Super easy. And then I made $320 on that. I was risking $250. And then the second trade, we had this low down here. Where's it at? Right here. We had this low on the range that I was considering, and I figured this could probably be a point where price would reverse. But we just ripped straight through it. Yeah, literally not even slowing down here. So after that, I was looking at this range right here for the next potential trade. Also, I remember seeing these buyers. There's like huge buyers here. Where is it at? Yeah, right there. Like these two buyers here are massive, and you can see on the delta, like the delta is huge here. Anyway, coming down. So right here, I saw this candle, and oh, okay, so I wouldn't have even been considering. So this candle doesn't hit value area high. It is at absorption, but it's not very good, obviously. And I think this is where the okay, yeah. So right here, so this is where my second trade was. So this is a pretty clear setup as well. We're touching the value area high. We have absorption. I think we get sellers right there. Yeah, so sellers coming right there. This was right where I took my position. And unfortunately on this one, I will say I definitely mistraded this. I was in profit for the day. I was in profit for the day. It's the end of the week. I didn't want to lose that profit, to be honest. And we had this big push down. I did move my stop to break even at this point, unfortunately. And unfortunately, right there, I get stopped at a break even. And then it just rips in the next two candles. I was just hoping it would kind of just rip in one candle, but yeah, I definitely mismanaged that. I gave myself like a B rating for how I traded today because, the setups were good. Like, I didn't hesitate or anything on the entries. But I will say, these trades were both very similar. And then right here, I didn't move my stop to break even because we hadn't created a new high yet, which is the right move. And down here, I really should not have until this high was created. Then I could have moved my stop above here. And then, it would have just been another dub. It would have been back-to-back dubs for a really good day. Honestly, really clean, easy day of trading. It was only 8 a.m. when this was happening. So I definitely misplayed that. Overall, I thought the market was easy to read today, though. It was a really nice move. And I'm, decently happy with the way I traded, but just not following my system and moving my stop above this. I just shouldn't have moved my stop here. I just saw this big candle and was like, oh, there's no way. It's not going to go. But unfortunately, got stopped at break even. That's going to do. I was risking the exact same amount on both these trades. I thought they were both pretty similar setups. So that's basically the 20th price action for the 20th. Now I'll just go on the weekend, be back Monday, I guess.